out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Madden 2000, put your face in the grass.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the first touchdown of Jameis Winston's career.
And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruise and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. I keep kind of looking at my eyes over here at this Joes versus Pros, looking at old ass Bill Romanowski trying to skip these old guys. Kind of looking pathetic if you honestly want to know my opinion, but Bill Romanowski is like 50, right? Hope he doesn't see this. But I'm doing something a little bit different today. I got somebody on the phone lines this time, and he's going to be like my co-host, a friend of mine, Mr. Ramon. He's going to give me some input on some thoughts that he thinks about, so you guys don't have to hear me ramble all the time about my thoughts and what I think about certain issues. You know how today is Wednesday, and I always do before Thursday night game, give my picks for the week, and try not to ramble on as I do sometimes. Remember I told you when I ramble I try to stop myself. So Ramon, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
See you there?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah, seeing how I know you're a Vikings fan and part Buck fan as well. Minnesota's on a bye week this week. I believe they're 2-2. What do you think that things that they got to keep doing or not doing to keep going the way they're going? Because I always say all the time the season's done in quarters, 16 game season, and each 4 brackets are a quarter. If you get what I'm saying. So with the first quarter done, what do you think that Minnesota needs to keep doing?
Well, obviously they need to keep playing through Adrian Peterson, man. As you can tell, man, when he's back, our offense runs on a different. They run a lot differently once they go through Adrian Peterson instead of putting all the brunt of the work on Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is only on his second year. The receiving core is pretty decent. It's not like the greatest receiving core and all that. We have a tight end that is injury prone, and he hasn't really done too much. He's pretty good. He's got a lot of potential, but man, they honestly just need to keep running the ball and try to get other ways to get Teddy to throw a couple more touchdowns, man, and get a little bit more efficiency out of him, man. Because like last game I watched, man. Driving down the field, everything's good. And, man, he just threw that bad pick, man. That killed us, man. Well, he didn't throw the pick, sorry. He got sacked. He could have got rid of the ball, man, to a check down. He didn't. He was looking down the field. Man, he had somebody wide open to check down just to get the ball out of his hands, man. Because, they were coming for him. Those Broncos were coming. They were coming for that sack. They were coming for blood, man.
Well, you know how Denver Broncos have a pretty decent pass rusher. Who they have out there? Von Miller and a man named DeMarcus Ware, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, he just needed to get rid of that ball. And I understand, me sitting from here looking, obviously, I've seen that. But when you're in the game and you got all of that, the crowd noise, you got everything on your shoulders, right on your shoulders at that point, man, it's a different scenario. But still, man, I just think that any quarterback knows to do, man. Take the check down when you need to. And he had Adrian Peterson open, man, with like one guy. It was just him and one guy. I would rather put the ball in his hands and let him make a move than, take that sack, because that sack led to the game being over, man.
I do have a question though. I just want to get your thoughts on it. As I really don't have an opinion on this, to be honest, but I want to see what you say. Being how the past couple of years, Kyle Rudolph has been a major part of the offense, and it seems almost as he's been flushed out of the offense entirely. I don't really hear his name mentioned at all. You think there was something going on, with the new coaching, or something's changed? You figured a young quarterback would rely on a run game and a tight end.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying about him being injured. I think it's mostly due to injury. He's kind of been injured a little. And the other thing, it could have a lot to do with that too. With the new coaching staff, you honestly never know. If you notice, this year when Jimmy Graham went over to the Saints. Not the Saints. He went from the Saints, right?
To the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. You see how he was utilized the first couple of weeks.
Jimmy Graham
he wasn't really. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? New coaching staff, new team. So, it kind of had a little bit of adjustment. So I feel it's the same thing, new coaching staff. I guess they're trying to find ways to get the ball to help, but I don't see it either, man. And I honestly feel like he's a game changer for us, man.
Do you think that he's not bought in on the new system? I know we're talking a lot about the Vikings and we got other teams to go through, but I really wanted to know somebody else's thoughts on this. Do you think that maybe he's not bought in on the new offensive system?
Could be a possibility, man. It really could, man. You really, I'm really not too sure. I can't opinionate on that because, obviously I'm not there, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the game plan is, but it just feels odd, man, that you have such a talented guy and you just don't use him or utilize him to his full potential. And that's very concerning, man. It really is.
Kind of like the Bucs not getting Mike Evans the ball, right?
Yeah. That, but to me, man, that I don't know what's going on because they're doing things to try to get the ball in his hands. Because the game before last, right? The game before this last Sunday, they threw the ball to this dude a lot, man. They threw the ball to Mike Evans.
17 targets to be exact.
Yeah, exactly. 17 targets, but nothing. It was just nothing was there, and I'm like, okay, so what happened? You know what I'm saying? At that point, you can't say that he's not involved. If you throw the ball to him 17 times, at this point, you got to remember, it's his second year, so coach is going to get a lot more attention, and people know the type of player he is now. So he's probably going to expand that second year adjustment that a lot of receivers and second year players have to do, as far as everybody, quarterbacks, running backs. Because now people got tape on you. People can tell a little bit of your tendencies and stuff like that. So they're going to game plan. So now this year they have to try to learn how to get past that. Some guys can do it. Some guys can't. It takes them a little bit, man.
On my last show, Monday or was it Tuesday night? I described that what you're talking about there with the game tape. I took that into effect. But what I also think it is that the offense is limited. And when I say by limited, I mean who are your other targets? Vincent Jackson can only do so much. Who do you have coming out of tight end? Who do you have coming out of the slot? Louis Murphy showed flashes of greatness, and that's why he got an extension because he was a formidable receiver. But I haven't really seen anybody else as a threat to draw coverage away or help. I also said I expect to see in this next game a heavy dose of Charles Sims. Like I said, you have to create matchups and weapons elsewhere to help your quarterback because I've seen times where this line is protected and nobody's getting opens. That's Mike Evans included.
Yeah, they're not, man. They get open towards the later in the game when people play those, relaxed coverages and stuff like that, and then, that's when you pad up the stats. So it might look great, when you look at it on paper, you're like, oh man, well, Vincent Jackson had 100 yards, but that was
10 receptions for 100 yards. That was garbage time, yes.
Yeah, it was just time, at this point, you just kind of play catch up and stuff like that. So it's it's not really, you didn't do that when it was needed, Yep. So I don't know, man. I think they need to get, like you said, it's a lot to do with play calling, but also it's because we have a rookie quarterback. So of course they're gonna be they're going to limit the offense to kind of help him out. But at the same time, it affects everywhere else, you know. So, I mean, honestly, you can look at it as like they'll be on a rebuilding process, so you got to be kind of patient, you know. For older players, that's not what you want to hear. But that's the truth of the matter, obviously. You know, older players, obviously, you know, they're there, so they want to make it to the playoffs, you know. They want to get their aspirations to winning. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a new quarterback, you got a new coaching staff and everything, you got young players everywhere, man. You know, it's kind of like you starting over from scratch, man.
All right, when you say rookie quarterback, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I just want your quick opinion on this one. With when you're saying rookie quarterbacks and struggling, I know Jameis has kind of been getting a lot of the bulk of the attention right now, I guess, with being number 1 overall. What about Marcus Mariota right now with 4 games in? He has a 62.9% completion rate, 333 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a passer rating through 3 games of 109.2. Do you think that he stays consistent with that, or do you think it kind of, maybe levels out, or does it rise, or what do you think?
I think the more you play, the more the season goes along, I think it might level out a little bit. I know that he had a lot of success his first game, and that's really what helped him out. His stats really looked great from that first game.
So you think a lot of those numbers? Well, he threw for 4 touchdowns that game. So yeah, he threw 8 touchdown passes. So that means you threw 2.
He almost threw for 400.
Yeah,
he almost threw for 400 yards. So after that, his numbers kind of leveled out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he had a great first game of the season.
Good point.
I just think he's just.
Yeah.
I think everything's going to level out. Like, you're starting to see it in the last couple other games. People been giving him, a lot of trouble because, obviously, now they have kind of a first game. They kind of seeing what he can do. They seeing what kind of offense they're going to run. So, obviously, they're going to watch a lot of that tape. And this is the NFL, man. You're going to have people, these defensive coaches, that's all they're waiting on, just so they can game plan completely around you. They need that tape. Once they have that tape on you, man, trust me, they're going to find ways to stop you. They're going to find ways to make you feel uncomfortable and everything. And you just have to work at it to try to get around there.
I want to talk about, I know we talked about 2 rookies. I want to talk about 2 veteran quarterbacks now as well. I said this kind of earlier in a couple broadcasts before. I'm going to touch on Colin Kaepernick here. Cover boy, had early success. Maybe it went to his head. Maybe he ate it up too much. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he just lost the ability to win with everybody leaving. Maybe there's something going on and I don't know about. But through 2015, through 4 games, he has a 62.1 passer rating, 727 yards passing, only 2 passing touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and a 67.7 passer rating. Again, that's through 4 games. Now, I said earlier with that whole Madden thing, with the Madden commercial, which was pretty great. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in my comment box when I post this. Kaepernick plays a blind man, and I thought that was, maybe kind of funny at first, but maybe you shouldn't have thought it was funny that your quarterback's playing blind, and he's only thrown 2 touchdown passes. And in the first game versus the Vikings, people said Kaepernick played well. I don't really think so. When your Carlos Hyde had more rushing yards, I believe he had, don't quote me on this, I may be a couple yards off, 168 yards rushing he had, and Kaepernick had 163 yards passing. And then the story for the rest of these games. But what do you think about Kaepernick? Do you think he gets out of that, or does this continue?
This is the thing that's going to continue, man. The thing about being a quarterback in the league, man, is once you get into that slump, man, like, especially if you're not one of the greats, man, if you just been, like, pretty good and then you get into one of the slumps. What ends up happening, man, is you just kind of disappear, man. You kind of disappear slowly. You know, the coaches give you a chance, and then after a while, you just kind of just become one of those guys that just had his moment of shine and just they couldn't perform, man. And I honestly think that he's going to continue to struggle, and they're going to go with a different quarterback, man. They really are. They're just that team. First and foremost suffered a big blow by losing their head coach, and they lost linemen. They lost some of the starting offensive linemen. They lost the defense, some of the defensive starters. You know what I'm saying? That team right now is in a rock completely, man.
So you think there's no core leadership anymore? So you really think maybe Patrick Willis was the big leader, and maybe not so far NaVorro Bowman? Would you think NaVorro Bowman was more of the Robin of the Batman and Robin duo?
Yeah, he was. I mean, now he has to try to play Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like he was Robin. You know, when you know, and trust me, he didn't look bad. He doesn't look bad at all.
NaVorro Bowman's not a bad player. I'm talking about like leadership wise, not actual play.
Yeah, like leadership-wise, man, everybody knows the voice of that team and everything was you know, Patrick Willis, man. Obviously, he was one of the leaders on that team, whether it be offense or defense, man. That's just the leader. It's kind of like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was the leader of that team for the Ravens. It's the same thing, man. He was that leader of that squad, offense and defense. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the biggest, like, the most influential guys in that locker room.
Hey, I would never say this. I would never say this out loud, but Ray Lewis almost made me want to be like a Ravens fan. Just the way you come out and you see the heart and you can feel his energy, and you're not even there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you felt him talk, man. Like no matter who you played, like no matter who your favorite team was, man. Like when you watched him and you heard him talk, man, you're like, man, damn, I like this dude, man. I really do. I'll play for this dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like. It's just one of those things, man. Like when you have a presence like that in the locker room and then it's gone, yeah, that's a big blow, man.
All right, I got one more.
I'm telling you,
sorry to cut you. Sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna spend too much time on it. But
yeah.
Last thing before we go into my picks, I got three. If you had for the rest of the games, remember I tell you about the 4 quarters of the season. Let's play a game with the remaining 3 quarters of the season. He had 3 quarterbacks to pick from to ride through the season. Would it be Andy Dalton? Would it be Matt Ryan? Or would it be Carson Palmer?
I have to pick one of them.
You have to pick one.
I swear to God, man, I think I have to ride on this one with man, that's tough. They're all playing really, really good right now, man.
Who's real and who's fake?
Yeah,
will it be?
Who's fake, man? I'm gonna go with Andy Dalton, man. He's for real, man. He's for real. He's got the weapons for it, man. Like that offense is just stacked right now, man. Like
many people have called him the second coming of Tony Romo, regular season champ, playoff chump.
Yeah, like I'll say that, but you said take it through the regular season. Yes, I'll go with Andy Dalton. Playoff wise, man, I might have to go with Matty Ice, bro. Even though, you know, he's only won 1 playoff game and stuff like that, but I have to go with him, man. He's got the hot hand, bro. I believe in him. Like, you know, and he also has a good team. Like a really good offense. Shit. I know Roddy Whiteheart supposedly wants out of there. I'm like, Jesus.
Of course, when you're 34 years old and you kind of seeing you're riding off into the sunset, but he ain't ready to ride off. Instead of heading west, he's heading east. But he's not the first person that happened. He's got to come to realize your role's got to diminish as you get older. It's hard, you know, when men with their egos. But let me go into these picks, Ramon, and I'll just say the games, and I want you to give your pick, and I'll give mine. All right.
Yeah.
Thursday night, you got Indianapolis and Houston. Houston's at home. Who you got?
This is a tough one. I gotta go with Indianapolis, man.
I got Indy too. Washington and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Washington and Atlanta. Who you got? Atlanta's at home.
Atlanta, man. No way they're gonna. Atlanta's too hot right now. No way Washington comes in and beats them.
For some reason, something's telling me to pick Washington this game. I don't think Atlanta's only going 4-0 one other time. And Washington,
Yeah.
well as Washington, just something's clicking in my head. I want to write it down and pick Washington. But right now I got Atlanta. That might change. I say Cleveland, Baltimore. Baltimore's at home. Who you got?
Baltimore.
I got Baltimore too at home. Seattle and Cincinnati. They're in Cincy. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, man.
I'm gonna have to beg to differ on you. I'm gonna say Seattle.
Yep.
I said they know how to win when things are tough. It's a team. They're a team.
Yeah, I know.
Green Bay and St. Louis. Who you got? Green Bay's at home.
Green Bay, man. You can't beat Aaron Rodgers. You can barely beat Aaron Rodgers at home, man. I do this money at home.
For some strange reason, that's another one that's calling my name, calling me to pick the Rams, because you got Todd Gurley back and you got the offense rolling a little bit. Like again, that might right now I got Green Bay, but that might change. New Orleans and Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, who you got?
Oh, New Orleans, man.
I got New Orleans as well. Tampa Bay and Jacksonville. Tampa Bay's at home.
I'm gonna go ahead with Tampa Bay, man. I gotta have faith, bro.
I gotta
have faith in my team.
Of course, I'm Buccaneer Blake. I'm rolling with the Bucks. I believe they go 2-3, and we go to our bye week next week. Come back and then even it up with the game after the bye week. Buffalo and Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee's at home.
Buffalo.
I got Buffalo too. Coming off of that loss, Rex Ryan's kind of hot. Defense is gonna be pissed. Let's see what happens.
Yep. I think they're gonna make it happen.
Arizona and Detroit. Detroit's at home after a tough loss. The what do you want to call it? The Batgate.
Yeah. You said Detroit and who?
Arizona and Detroit. Detroit's at home.
Arizona.
I got
I'm taking Detroit.
I got Arizona too, even though Patrick Peterson doesn't do well on Megatron. But then again, who does?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe except for Richard Sherman Monday night. But New England and Dallas. Dallas is at home.
Come on, bro. Really? New England?
I do too. I don't even hesitate on that one as well. I think New England wipes the floor with them. It's hardest for me to say that. Y'all people know how I feel about New England.
Yeah.
Denver and Oakland. Oakland's at home. Mind you, this is a division matchup.
Oakland, man. I'm going with Oakland, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. Be a man. Pick them picks. Say it strong. Say it out loud. Amari Cooper.
I gotta go with those Raiders, man.
You heard it right there. He going with Oakland. Say it loud.
Baby.
Amari Cooper and I'm proud.
Win, baby, win. That's all it is, man. Just win, baby. Big old Al.
San Francisco and New York. New York Giants are at home.
New York, man. I'm going with New York.
I got New York as well. I don't see San Francisco blowing out the slump. I think this goes way deep than just Kaepernick and the way he's playing. I think it's an entire team thing falling apart. Pittsburgh and San Diego. San Diego's at home on Monday night.
I'm going to go ahead with San Diego.
I second you on that. I think San Diego pulls out of the slump they are. Antonio Gates is going to be back. You got Mike Vick playing. I think San Diego comes away with this win at home on Monday night.
Yep.
I want to say one thing about the Jets though, since they're not on this one. Do you think that are you buying or selling the Jets' success so far with Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback?
I'm buying it.
You buying it?
I don't know why. I'm buying it, man. I'm buying it for the simple fact that, he's looking good because they pretty much tailored the offense. Like, now that he's the starter, they tailor that offense around him, man. They're not asking him to do too much. And he's got Brandon Marshall, bro. I'm sorry. He's got Brandon Marshall. That's all you need to know. He's got Brandon Marshall. He's got Chris Ivory. He's got Eric Decker. And that team is actually playing. That offense is actually playing, man. You know what I'm saying? That defense, man. That defense is good, bro. That's a good defense. I love that defense, man. I really do.
Well,
those big guys at the front, man, they have one of the nastiest D-line in the game, man.
In a way, I think it also will do well for Geno Smith. He gets to sit behind a veteran quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick and maybe learn a thing or two. Yeah. I know Geno Smith has high expectations for himself, but things weren't clicking. Geno Smith does have flashes of talent, like that game last year where he played against the Patriots. He played pretty well. If you watch that, you usually show it on NFL replay every now and then. But
like they said, bro, they draft him because he has it, man. Like you can tell, he has that arm. Oh my God, I'm sorry, blood matter. He has the arm, man. He just got to work on his accuracy, man. But the dude can do it, man. I mean, he used to be killing at West Virginia, bro. Like, oh my God. So he just needs to get working, and I think Todd Bowles is doing a good job of keeping that team together. Especially since they lost their head coach last year, and with all the stuff that happened, the whole Geno getting punched in the face and stuff like that, and his jaw broken. He's been able to manage to keep that team together and everything. They got rid of the guy and everything and all that. So they're doing good, man. Honestly.
Thank you for talking on the show tonight, Ramon. Appreciate having you. Hopefully we can do some more.
Yeah, man.
And,
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, everybody, for watching the broadcast. I always end with my favorite slogan. You're the master of everything you do in your life. Everything you do is up to you. Y'all be safe and have a good day. There's one more thing. Shit's all close to my face. Now, if you got the Note 5, this video is incredible. This thing's bad as hell. I know y'all see my Buccaneer shrine and stuff back here. Mike Allstott, all that good stuff back there. But I forgot to add about the Miami Dolphins. What did I tell you guys about quarterbacks and head coach carousel type thing? Now, they've made a commitment to Ryan Tannehill, which is good. You should make a commitment to a quarterback at some point. But now here you go with the head coach thing. Are you blaming the head coach because you picked up Sue, who finally got paid and looks like he really don't give a shit anymore? That's just my thought. I'm watching how he's quitting on plays, which I didn't see him quit in Detroit because he was hungry. I haven't really paid attention to Nick Fairley either. I know he hasn't got paid. I think he'll be up this year or next year. But the cycle continues. And Boyd tells me he wants teams in Florida to win, with us, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami. He thinks Dolphins are ready, but you keep changing these coaches. Now you got to learn a whole new system. Now you got Campbell, the old tight end from the Cowboys, running the head coach, and I really don't think he's qualified for. He's going to do his best. I wish him the best, but that's not going to cut it. You're just going to add another guy next year, and Campbell's going to try to implement a system that a coach or old coordinator made up. I'm not sure who runs the plays there, but he's going to try to do the best to mimic it. But it's that cycle of losing that happens, that keep flushing out QBs and head coaches does not work. If you don't believe me, when the draft comes and they're picking in the top 10, you'll know where you heard it first. Again, y'all be safe.